After 2 years of complete silence, on October 14, 2022, NotNever would upload a video titled I Am Back. It was sudden and abrupt. No explanation, no community post, just total silence broken. The video itself was meaningless, that said absolutely nothing. Except that the uploads would continue. This is the story of deception, greed, and betrayal. This is how a YouTuber fooled an entire community. This is the story of NotNever.
On July 14, 2016, a teenager named Deva would create a YouTube channel. Without knowing, it would soon change the Blockman Go community forever. He wouldn't post a single video until December 21st, 2018, but that quiet start set in motion something unforgettable. Under the mysterious name NotNever, he started uploading videos of minigames like Egg Wars, Build Battle, and Jailbreak. Since well-made Blockman Go content was rare at the time, his videos quickly stood out for their quality. However, it was his Bed Wars series that truly launched his popularity. His editing was sharp, the pacing was smooth, and his thumbnails were professional, all far better than what other creators were doing. While others rushed their videos, his were always polished. Slowly, curious viewers became a loyal fan base that would soon be called the Never Army. In less than 3 years, he passed the 100,000 subscribers mark. Videos like Build Battle Zombie reached over 1.7 million views. He was no longer just a creator, he was a symbol of quality in the Blockman Go scene. But as someone said, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. NotNever often took breaks, usually announcing them on the community tab, blaming burnouts, work, or lack of ideas. But over time, the breaks grew longer, the explanations shorter, and fans started to sense something was different. The posts became occasional, the connection started to fade. It felt like he was slowly distancing himself from the fame and the empire he had built. Then came the unexpected. On July 28, 2020, NotNever posted a video titled Bed Wars All Special Bridges. It was a well-edited like always, nothing felt off, but after that, nothing. He usually uploaded every 2 weeks, but now, time passed with no new content. 2 weeks turned into a month, then 2, then 3. Finally, after exactly 4 months, on November 28, 2020, he returned with a video titled bedwars.exe Ultimate, and it might have been his best work yet. The editing was phenomenal and the way it felt worth it. In the end, he confirmed that he was fine and said he would continue uploading. It felt like everything was finally back on track. But no one realized that it would be his last video he would ever upload. No announcements, no farewell, just silence. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The Never Army waited, assuming it was just another one of his breaks. He had done it before, he always came back. But this time, he didn't. By the time the break hit 6 months, fans started to accept the truth. He wasn't coming back. And with that, the mystery began. October 14, 2022. After nearly 2 years of silence, a new video appears on the NotNever's channel. No teasers, no announcements, just the title, I Am Back. Fans flooded in, expecting a long-awaited return. At first glance, it looked like him, the voice, the editing style, the pacing. But for long-time viewers, the cracks showed quickly. When comparing the two videos side by side, it was clear that the video tried to imitate his old style. Same memes, same pacing, familiar editing tricks. The similarities are hard to ignore, too many to be coincidence. Sure, most YouTubers keep a folder of assets like memes or sound effects to reuse for convenience. But what about the intro, the description? These are the core parts of a video, of a channel's identity. But in both cases, they were gone. For someone returning after 2 years, the explanation was bizarre. No heartfelt message, no details, only a casual line, I was just bored. And then came the details that didn't match. He was playing on PC, despite being a mobile player before, and somehow performed flawlessly without any adjustment period. The thumbnails was lofty and off-brand, a shadow of his iconic style. The video's topic, buying horn pads with G-Cubes, directly contradicted his old content. By the end of 10 minutes, the excitement had dimmed. Fans left uneasy, unsure if this was truly the creator they remembered. And though they didn't know it yet, this was only the beginning. Something felt off. At first, it was small things, easy to miss, easy to ignore, but as the uploads continued, the inconsistencies became patterns, and the patterns became impossible to overlook. Every video was exactly 10 minutes long, a number suspiciously perfect for monetization. That alone wouldn't mean much, except NotNever's videos had never followed a formula. Then came the thumbnails. His thumbnails were chaotic but in an artistic way, and took a lot of effort to make, for which he was praised for. Instead, these ones looked forced and washed out, over-edited in a style that didn't resemble his at all. And the ideas, video after video, the concept felt oddly familiar, as if pulled straight from another channel. Familiar titles, familiar concept, familiar formats. Everything seemed like an imitation, but not of NotNever, but of someone else entirely. The editing too was slipping, the edits lost its sharpness, memes were repeated, and the timing lacked the polish that once defined the channel. In its place was something sloppier, more rushed, more in line with a creator known for quantity over quality. Even the humor, once subtle and sharp, began to feel recycled, and while the tone pretended to be NotNever, the content was something else entirely. Cheeky promotion, low-effort commentary, and awkward deliveries that didn't match the polished presence of the past. Still, it wasn't just the content, it was the gameplay. Sharp viewers noticed the sword kept appearing in the 8 slot of the hotbar, a strange habit the real NotNever never had. But there was someone who did. Then came the biggest clue of all. The channel's location tag had been changed to India. This wasn't a random setting, it appeared before the I Am Back video ever went live, suggesting the channel changed hands entirely. Because NotNever wasn't from India, he was from Indonesia. And slowly, one by one, each inconsistency began pointing in the same direction. The video style, the editing, the content, the thumbnails, the cheeky promotion, the 10-minute length, the hotbar layout, the imitation, the behavior, the location. It all added up to one person, Aman BG. The truth had surfaced, the patterns were undeniable. Once suspicion turned into belief, the community didn't hold back. The creators who once looked up to NotNever started digging deeper, connecting every thread and calling out the truth. Videos began surfacing, not one or two, but many, all circling the same theory. The impersonation wasn't just a theory anymore, it had become something undeniable. Pressure started building, voices got louder, and eventually, Aman BG finally broke his silence. A video was posted, short, vague, and lacking any real explanation. No clarity, no apology, no effort to address the concerns that had been stacking up for months. It wasn't a response, it was a deflection. But what followed was even more bizarre. The conversation didn't grow louder, it vanished. Just like that, the situation faded from public attention. No one followed up, no one asked more questions, no one demanded answers. The community, once so loud, simply moved on. And Aman did too. He continued uploading videos on NotNever's channel, only now he wasn't even pretending. The thumbnails began featuring his own skin. The editing lost all resemblance to NotNever's style. The pacing, the humor, the tone, everything that once made the channel special was gone. It had just become another outlet for the same recycled content. When the Blockman Go scene began to slow down, Aman switched to Roblox without hesitation. There was no farewell, no reflection, just a shift, as if the platform itself didn't matter anymore. It was never about the fans, the legacy, or the content. It was about keeping the numbers up. What followed was a series of low-effort, clickbait-heavy uploads, brain-rot content. Video designed not to entertain, but to extract every last drop of value from a dying channel. And then, when there was nothing left to take, the upload stopped. The channel was abandoned, left to rot. There was no follow-up, no detailed explanations, no consequences. The outrage began to slow, attention shifted, videos stopped, the creators moved on, and then so did the audience. Not because they got answers, but because they stopped asking. That's the thing about silence. It doesn't always come after resolution. Sometimes it comes when people forget to keep talking. In the end, the truth didn't shake the internet. It didn't go viral. It didn't spark a massive outcry. It simply passed, quietly, almost as if people had waiting for it to blow over. But for those who noticed, who followed the trail, and who remembered what the channel once stood for, it was impossible to ignore. NotNever was more than just gameplay and memes. He was a part of an era, a creator who understood the rhythm of his audience, who respected the craft, and who never cut corners. It disappeared and left a void, and that void was never truly filled, only imitated. Now, what remains is a remainder, a channel stripped of its soul, a community scattered, a legacy quietly overwritten. The video isn't about hate, it's about memory, about holding on to what matters before it was lost in repetition, rebranding, and revenue. So if you remember NotNever, not just the name, but the feeling, you already understand. And if you don't, maybe that's the real tragedy.
Both NotNever and MNBG were big names in the Blockman Go community. They played major roles in shaping the content, trends, and expectations of what Blockman Go creator could be. At one point, both were great in their own ways. But over time, things changed. Eventually, even the effort to maintain NotNever's identity was dropped. It was no longer hidden. He wasn't trying to be NotNever anymore. He was just using the channel. Soon after, MNBG's own channel was taken over. Because of this, it became much harder to work on this topic, and the whole situation is now an even bigger mess. And that's the core issue. There's a difference between inspiration and imitation, between continuing a legacy and replacing it. Both the channels weren't created, they were taken. What followed was never right. Not to the audience, not to the community, not to the memory. This video isn't meant to attack anyone. It's just here to document what happened, clearly, honestly, and without noise. Because if no one tells the story, it will be forgotten. And this one deserves to be remembered. As a wise man once said, legacy is not what you leave for people, it's what you leave in them.
This video took an insane amount of time, easily over 100 hours, maybe far more. I honestly lost count. To put that in perspective, my last video, actually second last, which I thought was my biggest project yet, took me about 16 hours total. But here, even a single section of this project took me way longer than that. The endless scripting, refining, and especially the editing, it consumed everything. This wasn't just a video, it was a grind, a challenge, and a commitment unlike anything I've ever done before. And for the first time ever, I decided to use my real voice. At first, I thought I would just stick to text like I always do, or maybe experiment with text-to-speech. But for something this important, neither felt right. It wasn't easy. English isn't even my first language, it's actually my third language. Honestly, it was really hard for me. I'm so sorry if I sound terrible, really. I'll do my best to improve, and if you're wondering, no, it wasn't different people doing the voiceover. It was just me, recording in different places at different times with different mics at different pacing and different environments. That's why I'd sound so, well, different. I actually made a video on a similar topic 4 years ago, released on August 23rd, 2021, which also happened to be my birthday. Looking back now, not only has my editing evolved, but I have changed as a person as too. And here we are again, August 23rd, 4 years later, coming full circle. The video was originally meant to go up on August 21st, which was NotNever's birthday, just 2 days before mine. Funny how there's only a 2-day difference between us, yet we ended up in such different places. I may have missed the deadline, but the meaning, the memory, and the respect behind the video remains the same. So if you have ever watched his videos, if you have ever been part of the Never Army, or if you just care about the truth, this one was made for you. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you appreciate the effort, subscribe if you want to see what comes next, and share your thoughts in the comments. And please don't expect me to upload similar quality videos every time. I will try my best though. And most importantly, happy belated birthday NotNever, wherever you are. And as someone once said, a liar is a liar, but one who speaks mere portion of truth in order to deceive is a craftsman of destruction.